Not all of us are living off big fat inheritances. Most of us are building from scratch. But if you had the opportunity, I'm sure that you would leave a legacy or want to leave a legacy for your kids. And that is called generational wealth. Generational wealth is basically an asset or some form of wealth that is transferred from your generation to the next generation. Typically, it's done by the means of property, fancy artwork, businesses. Those are all legacies that folks leave to their kids for them to carry on in their generation, to grow it and then pass it on through their children as well. But if you don't have a lot, and you're not into business, you don't have fancy cars and a lot of money to leave your kids, I want to give you a couple of strategies today that you can start leveraging from now to leave them something small. In fact, it can snowball into something great if you're really savvy enough. With the minimum contributions, I want to show you how you can leave a nice nest egg for your children that they can appreciate after you have gone. Okay, so the goal of today's session is for you to understand the financial systems in South Africa and how you can build strategies around those systems and use that to your advantage. And today I want to give you 2 solutions that you can use to build generational wealth for your children and even your grandchildren. Now, this strategy is only applicable for South African born citizens, South Africans with a birth certificate or an identification document. So ideally, if you're a parent or grandparent that's listening, this is ideally a solution for you to leave to your kids and grandkids. All right, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your child's birth certificate, your documentation, the various FICA documentation, the other parents' documentation. You're going to go to SARS and you're going to get a tax number for the child. Now, because the child has a tax number, it doesn't mean that you're going to be paying taxes or the child is going to be paying taxes. That tax number is basically an entry point in the South African investment field. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to open a bank account for your child. Now, you don't need a tax number for this. You can just go with your details, FICA details at the child's birth certificate and open a bank account for your child. Now, most banks don't really have bank fees for a child account. It's usually your bank and the kids just benefit of your high banking fees and they offer it to the kids for free and they want kids to come to the system, build brand loyalty and all of that. So get a bank account for your kids. Now, how are you going to fill this up if you don't have a lot? When it comes to birthdays, Christmas, special occasions, instead of friends and family buying these fancy gifts and gadgets, ask them to contribute to the child's bank account because you have a plan for the child to invest. So even if they plan on spending 100 Rand on a gift, they can take 50 Rand, put it into the bank account and buy something small with the 50 Rand. And I know, when the kid opens up a gift and that joy and excitement is always nice to see. But as an adult, imagine if somebody can give you 1 million Rand right now. Somebody who's been saving and wanted to give you something to start your life, start a business, study further, invest in property. What a big difference that would make compared to a gift that you got when you were 5 years old. And I'm sure many of you can't even remember what you got when you're 5 years old, but your parents just wanted to see that look on your face. So I want you to be a little bit more savvy. Delay the gratification. And, the strategy that I'm giving you is something that your child will appreciate even when you are gone. And that's far more valuable than some knickknacks toy that they would get when they're young. All right, so ask your friends and family to contribute in that way, and whatever you get in there can make such a difference. So the next thing you're going to do, once you have some cash flow coming in your child's name, you want to speak to your financial advisor. And if you don't have a financial advisor, my details are down below. You can always reach out and then we can sit and we can strategize on what to do. Ideally, I would like for you to look at 2 solutions. The first one is a retirement annuity. Now, a retirement annuity for a child, yes, it can be done, although they're not employed, all because they have their own tax number. So you can set this up on your name of your child. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, they can all contribute towards a retirement annuity for the child. And one of the benefits is of this, although the child doesn't pay tax, so he's not going to get the tax rebate benefits, he is going to start using the beauty of compound interest here. Now imagine if you only put 1,000 Rand into this retirement annuity when the child was born. And on every birthday after that, you put in 1,000 Rand. And eventually when your child is of age and he's working and he can contribute, even if it's just 1,000 Rand a year, if he could contribute, In 55 years' time, that one lump sum will be over 4 million rand. Now, given the buying power of 4 million rand in 55 years' time is completely different from what the buying power of 4 million rand is now, but it's something. It's something that your child can start with instead of contributing larger amounts towards his retirement or her retirement savings when they are adults. They can contribute a lesser amount and invest more, start business, study more. So they don't have that pressure of worrying about retirement at their adult age. The second solution that you can look for your children and build that nest egg and build generational wealth is a tax-free investment. Now, one of the beauties of a tax-free investment is that you're not paying any taxes on it as compared to the retirement annuity. You only pay tax upon withdrawal, but you get to invest most of it offshore. As opposed to a retirement annuity, you have Regulation 28, which basically restricts you to only 25% of your retirement contributions going offshore. A tax-free investment, you can put everything offshore. Now, why I say speak to advisor at this point is because if you go and do this at the bank is going to offer you some sort of investment where it's like a fixed deposit investment. It's a tax-free fixed deposit investment, and you're only getting interest back, and the interest is super low. Okay, you want to be growing at a rate faster than inflation, and offshore investments allow you to do that. Imagine while your child is young, you're investing in companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. Now, all of those investments can happen for your child, and you can start early. Can really start early. By the time they're in their 20s, 30s, they can easily have a nest egg that they can have to buy property, for example. Now, this can work against you though, especially you don't want to raise a spoiled child who's completely dependent on you. And the key to doing that is to be teaching them about money from an early age so they can appreciate these advantages that they're giving them and use that to the best of their ability to start leveraging wealth for their generations to come. So one way you can start teaching your kids about money is by purchasing my ebook. It's called Financial Literacy for Kids, and there's a bunch of lessons in there that I've drafted for my young children that I use to teach them about money. So click the link down below. That book is on sale for just 99 rands. It's a downloadable book, so you can buy it, print it, let your kids do those lessons once a year and allow them to understand financial systems, saving, delayed gratification, and what it actually means and how it can help them in the future.